as a CRO opportunity because it is so revolutionary. Or well, it's going to seem so simple actually that you're not going to imagine this is revolutionary.
Hey, Derek.
But hey, Alex. So I love your icon, by the way, on the site. Your image is, of course, a circle that looks just like an Instagram story. And I have a feeling I know why that is. And I really love the tool you've designed and this new product category called visual storytelling. So with that said, Alex, I'll let you take it away and explain what this is and what people might be able to expect by using like a tool like yours or just the strategy behind it on their store. And Jonathan, thanks again.
Cheers.
Great, awesome. So thanks very much. Yep. Let me share my screen. So can you see my screen now? You should be able.
Looks good.
Yeah, awesome. So hey everyone, I'm Alex. Thanks for having me on the webinar today. It's a great pleasure. A lot of projects and ideas sound super interesting, and I'll make sure to give them a spin after the webinar. So today I'm going to talk about how any e-commerce store owner can take advantage of social commerce and Instagram stories, and more specifically, what you and I can do to generate more sales and engage authentically with our audience and customers. So as I told you, I'm Alex, and I'm the co-founder of Storypop. I come from the PPC Facebook ads field, and I have a background on e-commerce growth marketing. I've helped many brands manage, optimize, and scale their Shopify stores throughout the previous years. Also, I was working for LOOX, a growth marketing agency for over 2 years. And generally speaking, I'm an e-commerce freak. Now, if you're wondering what Storypop does, it's really simple. It makes e-commerce stores pop by simply letting you embed Instagram stories to your store. Our mission is to help you connect with your customers in a new interactive way. And I also suggest staying till the end of the presentation because we have a super announcement to make. So that's all for me, and let's hop right into it. Let's begin by discussing a new trend that is up and coming. It's called social commerce. If you Google the term, the following will come up. Social commerce is the use of social networks in the context of e-commerce transactions. Sure, this is the exact term, but if you think about it, it's not that of a hard thing to do, right? Although it sounds easy, not that many companies seem to be taking full advantage of social commerce at the moment. And as the data shows, the overall e-commerce world is totally shifting as we're hosting this exact webinar. Now, to see some interesting trends that are happening, mobile commerce is estimated to reach the 45% of the total US market. And as Bloomberg reports, COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the shift to e-commerce by 5 years. And we actually see this happening. As days are passing, we tend to prefer staying as far as possible from physical locations that are crowded. So as an overall result of the pandemic, many people started experimenting and now even prefer ordering their goods online. And why not actually? You can find perfect deals that wouldn't exist on the store. You can browse infinite products that you wouldn't have time to consider when in a physical store. And you can even track live your packages while they're still on the way. And many more that I'm sure all of you are aware of. So as it's natural, after you start shopping like this, there's no real reason to go back, since now you can do it more efficiently and more comfortably, and after all, while sitting on your couch. Another thing that we can't ignore is that Facebook and Instagram have just launched Shops. Shops is a new service that provides merchants the ability to promote and sell their goods and products directly via Facebook or Instagram. And yes, now people can simply create a Facebook page, put in place a simple catalog, and start selling. Also, the best part is that the checkout happens natively on Facebook, so they don't even have to bother setting up a branded and fancy e-commerce store. In general, ever since purchasing Instagram, Facebook's been making moves to make those two social media platforms be more integrated. So far this summer, we've already learned that Facebook Messenger will soon be able will soon become cross-platform, and users will be able to access their Messenger messages directly via Instagram, which is a huge change. And also, TikTok creators will be soon able to create and sell merch via Teespring. For those who don't know, Teespring lets you design your product, set a price, and start selling immediately to your audience. It's actually too similar to the whole print-on-demand scheme. TikTokers will also have the ability to create merch-focused TikToks to promote their merch all over the world. But that's totally logical when we're referring to a social media platform that allows users to create and produce very short videos of 15 to 60 seconds and 100 active users and over 1.5 billion downloads of the Shopify on the App Store and Google Play. A more interesting fact that than the ones we just mentioned is that live e-commerce is growing fast, actually too fast. Chinese live e-commerce has done some serious jumps when compared to the quality, value, convenience shopping channels in China. Their QVC shopping channels have almost performed the same in the past 2 years, generated around 11 billion, whereas live e-commerce has shown huge spikes starting at 3 billion on 2017 and surpassing the 129 mark in 2020 sales. Also, Pinduoduo with the Together More Savings, More Fun tagline that first launched back in 2015 has generated over 144 billion of gross merchandise value in the last 12 months. So just to get an idea how Pinduoduo works, let's say that you and I would like to purchase a TV screen, a fridge, and a set of home speakers. The only thing that we have to do is to create a shared wish list, and we can then purchase everything together as a group in order to receive a great discount to our total order. Personally find their idea unbeatable. Is referral oriented, which means that users are more likely to convert since someone they personally know has invited them to buy. And also Pinduoduo provides the ability for merchants to go live and skyrocket the personalized aspect of the whole shopping experience. There's a company named Squatted Shopping Party that hopes to bring this concept. Now to focus on some more familiar companies to us, we don't have to search much. Netflix, YouTube, and even Adobe's Behance are just some of the many examples that decided to experiment and go deeper into the whole social commerce-oriented and personalized experience of users. And as you can see here, all of those 3 platforms decided to launch their stories feature while keeping their personal touch, customizing and tweaking their whole stories feature accordingly to fit their overall branding image. Big tech giants and our society are heading. Merchants, unfortunately, were left behind. In case you've had or still have an e-commerce store, I know that you're totally hard to communicate a message you want or promote multiple products via a single sentence using an old-fashioned announcement bar. It's also hard to come up with a proper keeping announcement bars and pop-ups that are actually blocking while users are struggling too hard to fire your purchase touch points and hand you their money. So a question arises, can we, you and I, make our Shopify stores more social, alive, and authentic to compete those big tech giants so we can ride the same wave? And that's why we're here, actually. So see and analyze 4 tactics that we can use tomorrow to simply and minimally make our. So to begin, first off, one of our favorite ways to personalize an e-commerce store is it's actually the most straightforward title they could choose since their app does exactly what the title promises. As you can see in the bottom right of this test store of ours, we have installed their plugin. So when visitors are browsing our store, they can simply tap on the little circle and or even text options to do so.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me all right?
Have also the ability to, excuse me? Yeah.
You're kind of lagging out a little bit. Maybe if you want to just turn off your video and go audio only, we'll see if that'll improve things a little bit. I think just big lag spike there, but you are coming across okay. It's just kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
All right. So can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, this is actually a lot better. Perfect.
Great. So after they do so, merchants have also the ability to respond to the user's questions via video, voice, or text format. This way, we're authentically engaging, communicating, and more importantly, putting a face to our brand so we can build a stronger bond with our customers and prospects. Now, as it's natural, you're wondering what you can do with videoask to take full advantage of it. The answer is actually everything. Yep. You can use videoask for lead generation purposes. For example, let's say that you're searching for new influencers to collaborate with, and you'd like to meet them all in a few minutes via quick videos before selecting the ones you're going to collaborate with. Well, you can simply build an opt-in landing page where you also kindly asking them to shoot and send over a quick video directly from your e-commerce store. This way, you can see which one of the influencers that you contacted you most suits your case and branding, so you can have a more clear and personalized idea about everyone that showed interest. Or you can also use videoask for audience engagement purposes. Let's say, for example, that you're hosting some giveaways, and in order for someone to count as a valid entry, they should send you a photo or video of them using or wearing one of your products. Well, you can simply do that with videoask. As you would expect, you can also use videoask to gather video reviews, testimonials, or even to gather feedback for your products to iterate upon and make them better for your customers. In general, the use of videoask totally depends on your imagination, but I'm quite sure that all of us have something in mind that we could implement tomorrow that videoask would come handy to combine with. Feel free to dig deeper and learn more about videoask use cases, but I totally encourage you to use it since it's awesome and it's an easy way to make your e-commerce more alive. The next tactic I've got for you today goes hand in hand with your paid advertising activities, and it has to do with running local ads for your brick and mortar store. One of my favorite tactics when running ads for an e-commerce store that has multiple physical locations is to set up some local video ads awareness campaigns for them. This way, when people are passing by, we're quite sure that they become aware of the brand in case they have their mobile phone, which they always do. So even if it sounds weird, in case you start investing in local ads to promote your storefront or even the internal vibe of your physical store, people really seem to appreciate it much. Even if they never pass to say a single hi, there's a high chance that they'll Google your store's name and buy a product of yours the next time they need something similar to what you're selling. And this is exactly the customer that we need to focus on bringing into our stores and our e-commerce websites. People who truly understand, appreciate, and honor the brand by trusting us and eventually buying our goods. That's also the main reason why we usually prefer video ads in these types of promotions, so that people can experience the natural vibe of your store, understand and connect with your brand, rather than just buying from any other store they see in their feeds. Also, we've conducted various split tests, and we found out that the vertical video ads drive more engagement on mobile devices, even in feeds placement, since they cover more space than a traditional photo or video ad. Now, to dive a bit deeper on the technical side of things and illustrate how simple it is to craft a great mobile video, the only thing you have to do is create a vertical video using Mojo. For those who don't know, Mojo is a great and super simple mobile app that lets you create animated stories for Instagram using just your photos. Then you should add a music track that suits your video vibe. You can either choose one from the big variety that Mojo provides or add your own music. You should also make sure to include your physical address to the video and make a tempting offer. Now, regarding the offer, an important thing that most of us tend to forget is that you don't need to overstress it. You can keep it to the bare minimum. For example, a 10% off the entire order could be 100% better than delaying the whole offer. My favorite choice, though, is to host a 7-day sale on our e-commerce store. Let's say, for example, 30% off a specific collection, and promote the same offer with the same messaging to our physical store locations. This way, we also make sure to avoid any misconceptions that might occur in case we promote different offers in store and online, and we make sure to keep all of our customers happy. Now, some tips about paid advertising. I usually like to focus on people who are actually living in the specific areas of the physical locations. So I always make sure to target those at first, using the geolocation section inside our Ads Manager, of course. But although this is the case most of the times, I always make sure to expand my targeting scope and invest some of my total budget just to target people who happen to pass by the specific locations. I prefer doing the second one, especially when working with brands that have physical store locations that are located near to a touristic center. Also, I love to create some retargeting ad sets just to make sure that we're always investing in converting our warm existing leads into really hot ones by showcasing authentic branded content to them. And another useful tip I would like to share with you is to keep an eye on your frequency metric of your campaigns and stay at the safe range of about 3 to 4 times per user daily so you don't become spammy. Interestingly, you'll notice that not only people will start visiting your store, but a portion of them may buy online directly from those ads. One of our past awareness campaigns actually has generated many purchases, and it has been performing at a steady 2.2 ROAS, which is totally out of this world when referring to simple awareness stories ads that showcase the interior of our store. Finally, most of the time, I make sure to set as a destination URL of my local awareness campaigns the Google business page. This way, users can actually see where our store is positioned on the map, and they can even start heading to its way simply by tapping Get Directions via the Google Maps mobile app. Now our next tactic has to do with announcement bars, but it actually has nothing to do with announcement bars. So as I've previously mentioned, one of the main reasons why we created Storypop is to help merchants communicate and build authentic relationships with their customers. Well, as you can understand, when replacing any announcement bar with a cool and alive widget, you now have the ability and space to promote and announce multiple messages directly through the top of your website. This simply happens because you now have the power to create various theme-oriented highlights and nest multiple unique stories inside each one of them. Exactly like you would do with your Instagram travel, food, or any other highlights that you have on your Instagram profile. With Storypop, you now have a place to pack and promote photo and video content so your audience can see, experience, and become familiar with your overall brand culture. Also, when replacing your announcement bar with the Storypop widget, your site becomes instantly more interactive since users see a familiar way to them when it comes to consuming information. And as it's natural, they start tapping impatiently to see what's included in your store's highlight. Now, as you can understand, we're focusing on bridging the gap between user behavior and user environment to make the overall user experience better and increase conversion rates. And since the whole e-commerce world is shifting, and as we all know, mobile traffic and sessions are increasing, Storypop is a really great tool when it comes down to converting your store's environment into a more user-friendly environment, and as it's natural, drive more mobile conversions. A too-loved feature of Storypop that our beta users always mentioned is the Instagram set and forget feature. Just like building a real connection with anyone demands authenticity and transparency, building real connections with our customers demands authentic and consistent content publishing. So what we've decided to do in order to help merchants automate this process is to create a highlight, simply naming it the Instagram highlight, where all our daily Instagram stories content automatically fetches and syncs with our website. This way, our potential or even existing customers are always updated with our latest fun and promotional content. And the best part is that the whole process is totally automated. Next up, one of our most demanded features is product stories. And every time I talk about product stories, the word convenience pops in my head because of how easy it is nowadays to create a product story in comparison to the past. With Storypop, actually, you're only 3 clicks away to a beautiful product story. You simply browse your product catalog, you just select a product you like to create a story for and promote, and then you hit the select button and you're done. We simply take care of all the rest. The true magic of product stories feature, though, is not how easy it is to create one, but how good the outcome of just 3 clicks can be. So when you select the product you're willing to create the product story for, Storypop instantly analyzes the primary product image of the particular product to generate and embed a beautiful, unique gradient background that matches the exact color palette of your product image. Now combine that minimal gradient background to all the physical gestures that users are already familiar with nowadays. I'm talking about swipe up, right or left, screen tap to navigate between stories, etc. And you end up with a super interactive user environment. So as I've mentioned, I highly suggest staying on the webinar and keep watching, since we've got a special surprise for you at the end. Now, moving on to our final tactic, something that's a must-have when trying to create a great social commerce environment for your customers to browse and shop is, of course, reviews. We all love to read reviews and trust reviews before buying a product, and since it's more than 50% of people took a look at reviews, while only 34% are focused on deals, as search engine journal reports, it's a game changer for our e-commerce stores. But to really supercharge our reviews, we always love to use and showcase them beautifully using LOOX. For those who are not aware of what LOOX does, LOOX is a Shopify photo reviews app that helps you beautifully display all your product reviews on a dedicated page so users can get a glimpse of what previous customers have to say about your branding products. LOOX also lets you showcase your customer reviews on any specific product page, and it's totally mobile responsive. Another interesting thing about LOOX is that as a user, you have the ability to integrate the app with your Google Shopping Catalog and showcase your website's generated reviews directly into your Google Shopping Catalog or products. Although the above are great reasons to play around with LOOX, we personally think it's a must-have, since it helps you gather real user-generated content and provide social proof and scarcity to your e-commerce store. And as we know, both of those two factors are super important to have when trying to create a social commerce experience and environment for your customers. So to wrap it up now, should you start applying social commerce and follow the road that big tech giants are heading to? Definitely yes. Social commerce is a trend that we can't ignore. It's part of our lives. And we use social media and experience social commerce each and every day of our lives through Instagram, TikTok, or any other social app that products are being advertised to. And as it's natural, our entire mobile user and buying behavior will follow accordingly and move into that norm without even realizing it. So as we all know, marketing channels and tactics saturate over time, and social commerce is still new. So I highly recommend implementing some of the tactics we've mentioned here today to put a face on your brand and make the overall interaction with your users and customers more human. So to sum up our tactics, if you have a physical store, run local ads on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to expand your targeting scope when it feels right or when needed. Make sure to add a face through video to your chat and start experimenting with user-generated photo reviews. Ditch old-fashioned announcement bars and authentic branded content through your video or images as an Instagram story format, so that it's easier and more interesting for your e-commerce audience to consume your content. Now, drum roll. So I have an important announcement to make, and this is that today Storypop is now officially live on the Shopify App Store. So to celebrate, besides the 5 premium brand subscriptions that we're giving away through today's webinar official giveaway, we're also giving for free 3 months of our premium plan to everyone who signs up and informs us that he or she came from today's webinar. Yep, you heard it correctly. So just to claim your 3 months entirely free premium subscription, just install Storypop through the official Shopify App Store and make sure to shoot a message to our support team, and we will upgrade your plan manually from our end.
I absolutely love it. I would definitely recommend that you guys take advantage of this. As long as you've got the bandwidth, and basically here's exactly how you should take advantage of this. If you are doing Instagram stories for your brand today, you see people clicking through and converting from those stories. You see people engaging with those stories, but you also kind of see some of those stories that really perform well from a product standpoint. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I wish we could just run that story in perpetuity to make ourselves more money.
Exactly.
This is exactly when you want to bring this tool in, and you can, like Alex said, one click, port these things over, tie it to a product, and watch it print money for all of your existing website visitors. It is a true conversion rate optimization game changer, because it's taking a common on social experience and bringing it to your website. This is how people want to navigate a website, I think. And I think, the future of social commerce is portrayed here in its truth. I think in the future, websites might just be stories like that. I mean, with Instagram Shop and all that stuff, people aren't even necessarily making it to the site. But I think even the on-site experience will be a mix between what you laid out, stories, and then one-to-one video chats with my beauty expert or my fashion consultant or my person that I want to talk to. So I love it. Exactly. So yeah, here's the link in your chat to go to Storypop. You can install it right now into your Shopify store, and you're going to get 3 months for free. So you don't have to worry about paying for anything. You'll get off the ground. You can test it out. You can prove the value of it working on your store. I'm really excited, because my question to you, Alex, because I know you guys have been in a beta for a while, and you were taking brands in slowly, and I think you've recently built a lot of case studies on how this affects brands, right? What are you seeing from a merchant side, like ROI, revenue, increase in conversion rate standpoint?
So actually at the moment, we have a lot of merchants that have reported that a lot of users actually interact with their stories. They swipe up, and right now, we're also building the analytics, a more in-depth analytics side of things, so that merchants will be able to basically see which product stories or even photo or video stories have performed the best. So after that, they can start reproducing relevant content and similar to what seemed to be working and performing better for them, so they can actually have a great increase on ROI and revenues.
I love it. And I can only imagine how powerful this will get in the future, because you might see something performing really well on Instagram, but it might not relate the same to product sales on the site. And here with the tool, this tool is built into the site. So it's seeing the exact product and revenue from the engagement on there. So you're going to see straight revenue data in your dashboard, and you're going to be able to say this, it's not an ad, it's this story.
So you can also replicate the whole, you can replicate then the whole context of the story, or the context of what you're talking about through your stories on the website. So you can also keep engaging more and more as months and days and years are passing with your customers, and iterate on your products to make them even better.
Yeah, I love it. And I think this is to me, as a technologist, essentially, I think you are pioneering a new product category that 5 years from now will be like, remember when I'm calling the category visual storytelling. Remember when visual storytelling became a thing? And there was before visual storytelling, and there was after visual story. It's kind of like SMS marketing, right? There was before SMS marketing, there was after SMS marketing, right? And so that's what I think we're going to see this heavily adopted from the exciting digitally native vertical brands who are looking to deepen engagement. So Alex, thanks so much for showcasing the tool. And I really appreciate the other tools that you mentioned as well. I'm thinking about using the Typeform one. I didn't know about this.
videoask is an awesome tool.
Brilliant. Awesome. All right, we're going to move into our next session.